I explained some of this in the intro, but let me lay it out for our YouTube video viewers. Trump has been, over the last 48 hours, 72 hours, frequently making bizarre references to his own life ending and it being at the hands of Iran. This happening while we're getting conflicting and confusing explanations from the White House as to why they suddenly didn't use the new Air Force One that was gifted by Qatar. That whole saga is completely bonkers, which we'll get to, and I'll lay out for you what the series of events have been with he's on the old Air Force One, then the new one, and then the old one again, and back to the new one, and then they're pretending like that was because of a reason it was not because of. The reason is definitely security concerns. Which the reason they wouldn't want to admit that is because then you would be conceding accepting this Qatari jumbo jet for Trump's own ego because of how bouge it is was not ethically reasonable because of the whole accepting hundreds of millions of dollars of gifts from a foreign government, emoluments clause, hello? And it wasn't even logistically reasonable. Because you can't just accept a jet for the president and some of the most important people and a bunch of really, just people in general we don't want to die, but then also really important journalists on board from a foreign government when that's supposed to be maybe the most secure and advanced object in the world. Because it's moving through skies across countries, and you definitely can't have anyone take it out. So it has to be technologically sound. You have to know that it's not been tampered with. You might as well have just taken it all apart and reconstructed it if you're going to have the security standard that a normal Air Force One does. So
don't be rude.
I'm going to. I'm sorry. And so that's why there's been some lies and obfuscation about why he's been suddenly not using the new jet. But this is happening at the same time as he's making references leading to headlines like Trump ominously warns Iran could assassinate him during odd tangent. Let's watch.
Leaders, they're gone, and they had another set of leaders, they're gone. Now they have another set of leaders, they may be gone. Who knows? And you know what? I may be gone too, because I'm their number one target. It's out all over the place. I'm their number one because...
It's out all over the place. Why does he talk like that? Sometimes he's already at a 4th grade reading level. Sometimes he goes down to toddler. It's out all over the place.
Because I'm their number one target. It's out all over the place. I'm their number one because they're scum. That's the way they act, and that's the way they've done it for 47 years. But I'm doing what's right for the country. I'm doing really what's right for the world. They have to be stopped. And
if you appreciate this show, please click the subscribe button. All you have to do is click like that. Boom. Boom. And you help us a lot. Completely free for you. And then you'll know when videos get dropped. Also, drop a comment, that's helpful, and click the like button. Back to the video.
They've killed thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. They killed 52,000 protesters over the last 3 months. So when you say we're not doing well, I think we're doing phenomenally well. Our military has been incredible. Plus, we had a blockade. Did we have a blockade? Did you ever see a blockade work that way? You know, for you that said we're not doing well there, we did great in Venezuela. That was...
And in a different part, I don't know if I have the clip, he circles back to that topic and says, I'm the number one on their hit list, so at any point I could go. And then here he makes it real strange, which I would not want to hear from the president who's getting briefings from his Secret Service about the safety of the plane that I'm on. And here's a journalist being told, if I go, you go.
They did that, but I could see something.
Were you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force One?
Well, I have a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go, right?
But was there a specific
perhaps someday you want to change professions.
If I go, you go is not what you want to hear when you're on Air Force One and Trump's saying, yeah, there's all sorts of threats. So before I show you more of him getting asked about this and how strange it is that he seems to be revealing there are active assassination plots against him by Iran that are so advanced. It's different. Just to be clear, you might be going, Luke, obviously, is that even a bombshell? It's different to say, of course, the country we're at war with would want to kill our leader. And there's such high-level threats, like plans in action, that they had to get the president off of the new plane because it was gifted by a foreign country, that, we work with, but isn't a country we should necessarily just blindly trust. Any country I want it with something of this high stakes, but definitely not Qatar. And put them on the old one. So then it calls into question, why even in the world did we accept this? Why is there not transparency about what's going on? And you're saying that, as Caitlin Collins will lay out, the official explanation is, oh, no, it's not about an assassination plot. It's just, we wanted to show the troops in a different place how cool the jet was.
Has made no secret of how much he loves his new jumbo jet that was gifted to him by the Qatari government. So why is he now taking the old version of Air Force One again? That's the question that a lot of reporters are asking today, especially after the president flew on the new plane to the NATO summit in Turkey, but flew back from Turkey on the NATO summit on the old version of Air Force One. The president said that the new Qatari jet was being sent ahead of time to a military base in the United Kingdom so members of the United States military could tour it and see just exactly what it looks like on the inside.
It's flying to Europe, to one of the big bases, 2 or 3 of the big bases, where we can show it to the people, and we'll be going home by normal methods.
We saw President Trump landing at that same military base where he walked from the old Air Force One to the new Air Force One. You can tell a difference in the old color scheme on that plane versus the new red, white, and blue one that he put on the new Qatari plane. Now, the White House said that this was because the president wanted members of the military to be able to see it for themselves, but the president himself was also asked whether or not it had to do with any security issues or concerns about his own personal safety.
You've spoken today twice about them possibly assassinating you and possibly being successful. Did that concern have something to do with it?
Well, I speak about it a lot because the life of a president is very dangerous. It's 5.2%. You know what a race car driver is? 1/10 of 1%. A bull rider, that looks pretty dangerous to me. It's 1/10 of 1%. No, it's 5.2% is you don't make it. I mean, it came out. There was another list came out yesterday, and I'm number one on. I like being number one on TikTok better, but I'm number one on the list for killing.
President Trump has made no secret of how much he loves his new jumbo jet.
So I think what happened here, ordinarily I would not even think twice. And I don't think other news outlets that are reporting on this would even think twice about the president hopping. They always have multiple jets ready from one to the other and then back to the other one. But it's because it's a Qatari jet that was gifted to Trump clearly to win favor with him, which is completely detached from the guardrails we're supposed to have to prevent such attempts at getting favor with the president. And the reason Trump accepted the plane was not because it actually was a good deal for the U.S. You would think if you're going to accept a $400 million gift from a foreign government that reports say, despite denials from Trump, he's going to take with him after he leaves the White House, which is deranged. You would think if you were doing something like that I thought wasn't allowed, but okay, you're doing that. It's because it's such a good bargain. It's saving $400 million, right? That's what you would think the argument would be. They're giving it to us. But then you understand how advanced an Air Force One has to be. Again, maybe one of the most secure places in the entire world. Isn't that what they get onto if there's a bunch of nukes going off? And then they go fly to a bunker, maybe. At least in the movies, they get in the helicopter and then they go to Air Force One, and that's where they're safer in case nukes go off. So it's supposed to be impossible to threaten the president on Air Force One. So that means that if you get something that could have all sorts of different things in it from the government that gave it to you that would help them have access to information they shouldn't have access to, or would reduce your safety, or maybe they just aren't able to retrofit it like the U.S. could. That means you take the jet and then would have to do so much to it. Supposedly they did this, but again, because of the not using it amid security issues, I think that this didn't happen properly. You would have to, as I referenced before, deconstruct it and reconstruct it to make it the level of security that a normal Air Force One has. So that cost to the taxpayers offsets, if not more, whatever benefit we got from saving the $400 million by getting the jet in the first place, right? The reason Trump wanted it is not because it was going to be a good bargain. It's because it was an ego boost, because he knows they were giving it to him. If it does stay with the U.S. government forever, Trump never takes it to like his presidential library or something, okay. But Qatar knew he would see it as a gift to him, and that's why they did it. And that's why the UAE is, and leaders in the UAE are investing in Trump's crypto firm. That's why all these different choices are being made to please him, because he's a transactional president, not a principled one. The reason he wanted it was because of this. Do you see? This is a photo from inside a plane. This is not what the normal Air Force One looks like. This is a luxury jumbo jet. This is why Trump wanted it. But here's the problem. Air Force One is cool by as it stood before, but it's not supposed to look like a complete hotel. It's supposed to be secure. That's the most important part. Maybe spacious, so you can fit the press gaggle and you can have all your people and you can do meetings, but the security is the top concern.
I'm really rich.
Being given this is just one photograph that I saw circulating. You can tell that's why he wanted it. And it actually is going to be a waste of taxpayer funds, given now they're having to have two, and he's going to go send this one here, and then they're going to... I saw David Pakman sum this up for us, saying Trump said he was abandoning his free new plane in Europe because he was afraid Iran would shoot it down and kill him, but then he did a switcheroo, changing back to the new plane in London. Great use of taxpayer money, eh? Super efficient and not wasteful, etc. Now, that's one piece of it. They don't want to admit that's why they didn't use it, not as secure as the other one, because it would undermine the argument Trump made in accepting this gift. But there's also just a weirdness to how frequently he's bringing up assassination attempts against him.
And they've been a very good partner. He's been great, by the way. President Erdogan's been great. And I hope you had a good time. Any questions?
Mr. President, what was the security concern that caused us to change planes? What was the security concern that caused us to change planes?
We sent this one in so that the Air Force Base here was in the same exact line. So you saw, did you see the picture?
We did.
Hundreds of pictures, hundreds of people. Let me see that. You can't see it too well, but there are hundreds of people out there. So they wanted to see. So they came a little bit early and we switched planes.
So you're saying there wasn't a security concern?
No. Why would
there any other issue? No issue?
No, except...
No, why would there be? But also, if I go, you'll go, and they're always trying to, and maybe so. Like, in a couple sentences, the other clip that I showed you, and then this one, he goes from, no security concern, but also, yeah, at any moment I could die. That is definitely very likely.
Except we sent it a little early. Same line, going back. We sent it a little bit early so that we could let them see it. The whole base came out and saw the plane, and then we landed.
Do you know why they had us close our window blinds? That was unusual.
Well, yeah, because you're probably on a dangerous flight because of...
So no security concerns, but we did ask you to put your blinds down, which usually means there's a security concern. Maggie Haberman was, and she's not some lib, okay? She's a solid journalist, and she was on Caitlin Collins' show saying, this is not added up. What they were asking, the blinds down, the switcheroo, the behavior was clearly because of some sort of threat that's not being explained. And that's fine. There's certain secrets they'll have. But I think the reason why this is getting so much attention is what I explained before, which is it's not just the normal security threats a president would have, but the potential reduced security that the gift he accepted exhibits.
Sleaze bags that we have to deal with.
So you think that Iran was possibly thinking of targeting?
Well, I mean, if they asked you to close your windows, probably they'd feel that way. They didn't ask me to close mine, but if they did, I would have done it. No, these are sick people, so I could see something.
I honestly salute the journalists on board, because Trump is not doing anything to ease the panic about why all of this different stuff happened. So that's the combination of the update on the Qatari jet and the ominous warnings of assassination attempts from Trump.